Welcome to the Chatter After podcast. We are here talking video games. The Game Awards are over. Grand Theft Auto 6 has a trailer. A lot of stuff is happening in the gaming industry in this wonderful month of December. But we're still here talking about DC because James Gunn's over here saying that these video games are going to tie in to their movies, even though recently he said not all of them will. And I need him to pick one. I'm confused. Does anybody know what this man is saying at this point?
No, I asked Joel. He'd have an answer for me.
Yeah, some yes, some no. It's pretty straightforward to me. Like some movies will,
like it.
Certain games will.
We're gonna need like the deep, like some sort of branding for this, like how Marvel has like Marvel Studios on every MCU project. Like we need to do that for DC. Because if some games are canon and some aren't, we need to be able to tell which are, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All of us came up with some ideas for games that we think would be cool. We're going to bounce them off each other. If you have any cool ideas, let us know in the comments. Jamie's going to try hard today because she wants to get hired. I'm just going to be really lax and loose with it. We'll see how it goes.
I'm trying hard, but simultaneously did very little research. So, you know, it's the perfect pitch. You can't steal my idea because it technically isn't fully fledged, but it's out there. So if you try to steal my idea, I'm gonna be like, well, you took this, this, and this, so I'm suing. So, you know, don't try it. Just hire me instead. Easy.
New York energy was on full display with that sentence right there. Oh man. Guys, I guess I'll go first. I feel like mine's probably going to be the simplest because my idea is a game that I pitched in like 2017, but also it's a game that's kind of being made. It's Wonder Woman, right? So Wonder Woman, to me, I think the easiest way to go about it is third-person action-adventure game, obviously, right? Like there was rumors that the game Monolith is making, and Monolith, this is a message directly towards you, since you're still scripting this game and developing this game. Feel free to take this idea, but you do have to give me credit because I'm giving you my ideas. Monolith is making this game, and I kind of tailored this pitch to them specifically because we already know they're making it. They were making, their last game was what? Shadow of Mordor, I think. It was one of the Middle Earth games, right?
Shadow of Mordor.
Pretty sure.
I think.
Probably.
There was two of them. I forget.
Yeah.
Shadow of War.
Yeah.
Shadow of Mordor was right before it, so I'm sure they're tied together.
Right.
Yeah, there's a sequel.
Yeah.
Those are great games, and those fit Wonder Woman as a character. I when I pitched this originally in 2017, I said just make God of War, but with Wonder Woman as the protagonist.
Right.
Since that initial pitch years ago, we had two God of War games come out, and they are arguably two of the best games ever made in God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. And very much still, I think that would fit Diana. I think the idea of not having her with Steve Trevor or the Justice League, but embracing the mythological aspects of her character, right? Embracing the Greek origins of the Amazons and Themyscira, her connections with the gods would be a really interesting spin, not only on her mythos in the DC universe. It would make a awesome game where she can fight monsters and gods, and you can tailor her battle set, right? One thing I love about God of War is that the Blades of Chaos don't feel like Kratos' axe, right? It doesn't feel like Draupnir even once he gets the spear in Ragnarok. Spoilers, I guess. He gets a spear in Ragnarok. My bad.
No, man, this game been out long enough. You ain't played. That's your fault.
It's been that long.
It's been a year. We released a video about this.
It's been long enough.
The consoles just became widely available not too long ago. Black Friday just passed. Maybe you didn't get there yet. I don't know.
Nah, man, that's your fault.
Did that game not come out on PS4?
I don't
think it did.
So.
No, yeah. That's on them, though. I was preparing. I was waiting. It took me a couple of years to get to PS5, but
No, it did. It did. So now it's definitely your fault.
I wouldn't play it on PS4 though.
No. Don't do that to yourself.
If you haven't played God of War somehow in year 2023, go pick up a PS5. There's the slim ones, there's the digital ones. You'll find one now at this point. But no, like I feel like those Shadow games that they've been making, the Middle Earth games, they're not necessarily just a ripoff of what the God of War franchise is, but it's still very much set in that Lord of the Rings like fantasy setting, and they're great games. Like I think they average like 8 out of 10s on all the games that they made in that series. And those are fun. But was there any ideas that you guys want to toss around with the Wonder Woman game? I think again, leaning into Cersei, Ares, that type of stuff. Maybe make it like a prequel, so we can have present day Wonder Woman with the Justice League and Steve Trevor and that stuff, and we can use this game as kind of like an origin story, so we don't make a movie telling the origin of Wonder Woman again.
Mike, you are speaking my language with this game. It ties into my game, so I'm loving where you're going so far. I'm loving all of this. Do all of this, you know, like you said, tie into all of that, tie into her origins and the Greek mythology. She learns that she has magic. Tie into all of that. Like, please do, because it'll make so much more sense when I go to my game. I'm with you 100% so far.
Like, keeping with the God of War thing, like making the lasso kind of work as the Blades of Chaos, where she can like rope people in and pull them back towards her, and then she switches to the sword, and having to deflect bullets and projectiles with the bracelets.
Was that stabbing? Was that what that was?
Milking a cow.
You shank them, I guess.
Yeah.
No, but like I think that'd be a really cool, like fluid battle system for Wonder Woman. And I don't think her game needs to be open world. It can be like
God of War.
Kind of like God of War. Or Final Fantasy. Hub worlds could also work too. Mainly because traversal with Wonder Woman I don't think is nearly as interesting as running as the Flash, swinging as Spider-Man, flying as Superman. And Trevon's not here, so I can say it. She doesn't fly all the time anyway, so we don't even have to worry about making a flight system for her.
Fast travel with the invisible jet. That's it.
Right. That would be cool if this was last gen, but you know, those instant load times, we don't even need a loading screen with the invisible jet anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But you get a cool animation when you use it. So
yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, like even at the end of the skill tree, she takes the bracelets off. She enters God mode. This is a comics thing. Eyes start glowing white. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with Diana.
So she goes Super Saiyan.
She kind of goes Super Saiyan. Yeah.
Okay.
Who would be the villain for this?
Several villains.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying who's your main villain? I'm wondering.
The main villain, I feel like you have to go Ares, right?
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
God
like
War.
Wonder Woman, just literally Wonder Woman, God of War. No, but like you go Ares, you could probably do Cersei. I don't know if I'd make like Cheetah the main villain in any Wonder Woman game. Yeah, like,
no, she feels like you show up
sub boss
sort
of villain. Yeah,
exactly.
Minion.
But I like this idea because it's still very much steeped in Wonder Woman lore, but it's completely different from what her TV series did, what the latest movies have done, and budget-wise, like making this a movie would be insane. Making this a video game, you can embrace the more like crazy fantasy elements a bit more, and make it a lot more engaging for the player. And again, if you set this in the past, because we already have that Amazon show that's going to be set in the past, you can time jump present day. She's with Superman and Batman and doing normal stuff that we're used to seeing her do.
Right. Could work.
It's an interesting concept. I very much want them to jump more into, like you said, the mythology aspect or the mysticism aspect of her origin. Yeah. It feels very much untapped.
Her dad is Zeus, and I feel like that should be a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Which means at minimum, half brother is freaking Hercules.
Yeah. Who she's had rivalries with in the past too. Run-ins.
Yeah.
She has some beef. Her and Hercules have history.
Right. So you can lean full into that. Of course, you can introduce Nubia.
It also means Kratos is her brother too.
Crossover game.
Oh, the biggest PlayStation exclusive of all time.
For real.
Oh man. But yeah, any other ideas that we want to toss around with Wonder Woman comments before we move on? I talked a lot, so you guys chime in.
I don't think so. I would I like it being kind of an origin, especially because I feel like I don't really know like that much about Wonder Woman. So I would like to see, and I really like Greek mythology as well. So I think digging into that, wouldn't hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I don't know. I mean, I think there's also I don't know. I'm interested to see like how they would go about it, like the actual game, and I guess also you guys as well. Like you can throw some input because there's always, we talked about the GTA 6 trailer, and there's a female protagonist for the first time. And it's like, there's a reason it's the first time. Like the gamers are always it's like when women get involved, if you're not gawking at them, like something's a problem. So I wonder how they'll kind of balance that, especially with Wonder Woman being the main character and Themyscira and having like only women. So
yeah, it's all women island.
It'd be cool to see more of the island and stuff though. So like that would be a great just because obviously if it's her origin, you're seeing some of that. What's up, Trevon?
Well, Trevon, you just missed the greatest Wonder Woman pitch of all time. You have to watch the replay.
Oh, so it is a competition now.
Is it? I don't think so.
Was it
the greatest Wonder Woman pitch?
I mean, you're not pitching Wonder Woman though, so it's not a competition.
I'm changing my game. It's Wonder Woman now.
Okay. Go ahead, Jamie. Tell us your Wonder Woman game.
Are you going?
So it should be an origin story.
Just the whole thing over.
Playback Mike's recording.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, but yeah, I think that'd be a really
cool
way
fun.
to go about it.
I would like that, and I hope that that happens.
I wouldn't mind it being like a mixture of Greek mythology and some modern day elements, like because she has a rogues gallery that's really untapped, and you really get to see very little of it. You saw a little bit in that last animated movie, which was really cool. They got to expand it a little bit, so you get to see some of that. I would like to see maybe mix it up a little bit, where maybe she has to go between worlds, or maybe she has to visit Mount Olympus and Themyscira and one of the cities. Like it's just it's because it's not open world. You don't have to worry about all that jumping around. Like there's just certain locations that she's going to. You know what I mean?
That works.
That could do, they could do something like that. Like you said, Ares could be the main villain. You can always fuck around with Hades. You can have her rivalry with Artemis. Is it Artemis? Yeah, something like
Artemis.
That. Yeah, it's Artemis. So there's a lot of different things you can do, and she again, like obviously you have Cheetah there, and have her like sub boss battles with her, and they've recently have they other lassos other than the lasso of truth apparently, so you can even touch on that.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, it's more recent, I believe. But yeah, there's other because she uses God tools, like there's like swords and shields and things, like her golden eagle armor, and like using that, you need that for like to take on Ares or some shit like that. There's a lot of different ways you can go with it.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Oh, actually, I just thought of something. I would like some cool action set pieces. Let's throw some of those in there.
Of course.
Final Fantasy 16 got me real big on the action set pieces now.
That's fair.
That's also why I'm like, let's set this, like make this the most fantasy Wonder Woman story we've ever put to screen, because that's to me the most interesting part of her lore personally, because after that it's just like she's super strong like every other DC character, but like embracing those fantastical elements I think would lend really well to a game. And what you were saying, Joel, about like jumping between time periods, I love what you're thinking, but I'm also like, do I want to save those for the movie?
Or the movie, yeah.
Because like that's the weird thing of making these games canon. It's like, do the really crazy thing in the game, and then Wonder Woman's in present day, and then that's the movies, and that's the team ups and all the stuff. I don't know.
I forgot about that.
I mean, that's just if it is canon. Like, but that's why when you said
that's not all.
You're not going to be reflecting bullets in the past, so it's like one of those like arrows and like fireballs, I guess. Like, whatever those are, which is fine. You could do like the idea of like pressing the right button to deflect at the right time. Like that's Tales of the time. You know, video games time and it to like reflect and deflect.
I was doing that in Ocarina of Time.
Right, mechanics matter a lot. Yeah.
So quick time events are a staple of superhero games.
Started with Kratos and with Wonder Woman. You know,
Wonder Woman picks up Atreus. Like, all right, boy, let's go.
Follow me, Loki.
That would be fun.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm hoping we get a little teaser of this game soon. Hopefully,
it'd be cool. You give her a cloak too. You get like different armor sets because especially if it takes place in the past, you can get some that look exactly like what you used to, or just go crazy with different armor sets. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when I was describing it, I was going with God of War because like changing the armor pieces and customizing
the breastplate, the gauntlets.
I mean, exactly. Cape, no cape.
Right.
Cape. I'm just saying.
Or cloak. Yeah, you don't need like a cape, but you need. It'd be cool if she does have the cloak or whatever.
Yeah, like
she had in Suicide Squad. That's not bad.
Exactly. But yeah, that's my pitch for Wonder Woman. Who wants to go next?
I can go because yours leads right into mine. Essentially,
it is ready.
Your game could pretty much be a prequel to my game. Because you talked about Wonder Woman, you talked about her tapping into her origins, and like I said during yours, one of the things that she brought up in her origins is that she is tied to magic. She was marched by the witch Hecate, and I'm telling you, I want to do an adaptation of the Witching Hour storyline. I don't know if all of you guys know the Witching Hour storyline.
I don't, but it sounds good.
It's great.
Trevon sold.
So it's a Justice League Dark storyline.
Okay.
In this Justice League Dark iteration, Wonder Woman leads the team, and
that was recent.
That's what
it was like 2018. It was very recent.
It was Rebirth.
But essentially, she was marked at age 12 by Hecate, and what she's trying to do is what she is trying to do is take back all of the world's magic and basically burn the world down and restart it anew. She doesn't like what humans did with magic. She's very bitter to what the gods she felt like the Greek gods betrayed her. So she is very much pissed, and she's like, I deserve all of this. I'm going to start it all anew. So
I thought she was just like, yo, humanity sucks. Let's start over.
That's part of it. You know, she doesn't think it is one of those. But what happens is Wonder Woman is one of the 5 witches that she marked. And when she basically calls upon the 5 witches that she marked, they'll become like her puppets to tear the world down, and she'll get the power back and burn it anew.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much a story with her and Zatanna probably leading the team. So I was saying it would have elements of sort of like a Spider-Man where you have the 2 protagonists, but also kind of like a God of War because you're not going to be I guess like free flowing everywhere. It's not going to be open world. It would definitely be like sort of that hub like God of War style. But you're trying to stop Wonder Woman from losing control of her magic, becoming a puppet of Hecate. And then at the same time, you have the element of it being able to move forward because it ends sort of like a cliffhanger. So you have your post-credit scene and everything. Go ahead.
I just thought, and we could like that's the solution, right? Like that's the switching mechanic that Joelle was pitching, like past and present. We see Wonder Woman's origin, and then we jump to present day, and it's Zatanna's POV trying to stop that.
You really could. Yeah, it's such a fun storyline. You see so much supernatural elements that'll probably cost a shit ton. So being able to do it in game, you're seeing Cersei, you're seeing so many different witches. The entire obviously Justice League Dark is there.
But do you play as them other than?
I think you mainly probably are playing as Zatanna and Wonder Woman, just because those are the 2. Those are the two that's having the most action in the storyline.
I want to play as Detective Chimp. Damn it,
Detective Chimp. But Detective Chimp, his biggest part is really swinging the sword to get them out of there. That's felt like a cutscene. Like, that doesn't feel like a.
But that doesn't mean you can't give him other things to do.
That is also true because it would be an adaptation. So
right, it's an adaptation. Like in that team, it was a very weird.
It is
really constructed team.
It's a weird team.
It has Man Bat.
Yeah, it's Man Bat.
I know that one.
Detective Chimp, Swamp Thing,
Fate. There was 2 Fates. I don't know if they were both there, but
no, Fate. He wasn't. He was one of the people.
Swamp Thing. Well, yeah.
He was one of the people who they were up against because he sort of led them. He sort of started let them down this path.
She was like a demon.
Yeah. That's when she's possessed.
Well,
yeah,
she could actually be a villain, and
that's why I was thinking
the team element.
That's why I was thinking sort of the Spider-Man aspect. You think about the time when, obviously, in the last Spider-Man, where you had to fight.
Spoilers for Spider-Man 2.
That's true, yeah. Spoilers for
I was about to say, are we talking about the second one or the first one?
Spoilers for Spider-Man 2. But obviously, you had to fight Peter because he was possessed essentially by the Venom suit or by the Venom symbiote.
Yeah.
So
one of the best fights in the game.
It was. I think that'd be a really fun fight. You can fight. You would obviously have to fight all of the different other witches that she possessed. I forgot the name of the place where Deadman's from. Like that. No, I'm saying like the where he's from. I can't remember the name of
something Taj.
Yeah.
Forget what it is.
But that fight scene where they're burning, where Cersei is essentially burning that. No, Hecate is burning that down. Essentially, like that was her first assault. Like that's where you first figure out that she's trying to take back all magic. That'll be a crazy boss fight because it's truly in the comics. It's like you're fighting this super tall like image of her. So it has that image of like the God of War fight. So I think this storyline would be crazy. You could really tap into, again, the magic, again, the different powers that Wonder Woman has because she's using her magic throughout most of this. You're not being a typical Wonder Woman story. And I think it's something that, even if they don't want to tie into it on the big screen, having a game for it to be really fun.
That's what it's called.
Oh, I would never remembered that.
Yeah, I forgot myself.
I know that location. I just didn't tie it to that character.
Yeah, it's a very big part of his character.
What was it?
Nanda Parbat.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't thinking that at all. Never mind.
Yeah.
It goes into the dark multiverse. I forgot to add that. Like, so there's so much expansion opportunities for that. Yeah.
I like this idea because it's also very self-contained. Like if you don't play the game, they don't have to call back to this in the movies for people who didn't play it. But if you played it, awesome game. Awesome series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to play as more characters. Just limited it to them too. You can't call it just and give them 2 characters.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
To be fair, that's why I just said the Witching Hours. That was why I just went that name.
I mean, you could just say like Zatanna, the Witching Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could do that if it's just a Zatanna specific game. And there's a lot you can do with just Zatanna. And then have the rest of the characters to be support. But yeah, I mean that's fine then. If it's if you're gonna call it Justice Dark, I look forward to seeing other characters that I can play with.
Yeah.
Like they did with Guardians, where you can just.
I was waiting for.
Well, I was just gonna say that's why I think that's why I wanted to just say the Witching Hour because I learned from Guardians. I feel like that was the big thing that a lot of people didn't like. It was a Guardians game, but you didn't play all of the Guardians. I'm just saying but at
least they were there.
Fair.
You can use them.
Interesting. You mentioned Guardians, Didge. That plays right into my hand. But I really like your idea. I feel like I'm not familiar with this storyline at all, and all this sounds like very interesting and a good chance to like kind of meet some of these characters and kind of get into their headspace. Would this be before they're introduced theatrically or like through a TV show or something? Zatanna at least.
Zatanna would probably need to be introduced, but because it's self-contained, to Mike's point, if they don't show up, it could very much feel like a continuation of a Wonder Woman story because she is very integral to the entire storyline. So it could very much feel like it's something a part of hers. And I think it gives just a different outlook on it. I think that's the main thing. It doesn't have the because it's dealing with magic. You're not wondering the entire time, well, why isn't the Justice League handling this? I think that's something that hurts a lot of DC storylines that don't pertain to the Justice League. They're like, well, why didn't you get the big guys on this?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of superhero games you think about
the
it.
Justice League Dark is where they were created.
Look around the city and Spider-Man. Like, really?
Yeah.
Wong left us a note in that game, and homie didn't say, "Hey, let me pop in and stop these symbiotes."
Yeah,
I know.
Avengers
I think we're gonna see
powers covered.
Yeah.
I'm like, so
like I think this the subject matter specifically, like you said, Joel, Justice League Dark was brought in specifically for this type of subject matter.
Yeah.
So you understand why this team is there
to deal with the Enchantress. I remember that. I was like, what?
Yeah. I like it. I think it's really cool. The Justice League Dark is a team I think we need to see more of.
Yeah.
I love that team.
And again,
me too.
Gods and monsters is a major theme at the start of this DC universe. So I think that I think the angle, if you wanted to make this canon, is to use Swamp Thing, right? Because he's getting a movie.
That's true. Like, I forgot about that.
Use him as the lead in, maybe introduce Zatanna in that movie, and it can lead into this game if they choose to. I'm with Joel though. I kind of want to play as all of them, and I don't know if we change the gameplay style from God of War-esque to something like Final Fantasy, where you have a party and you have like 2 or 3 other just like dark members.
Like the action RPG.
Yeah.
Interesting you brought that up, Mike. Very interesting.
That's actually a really good idea. I didn't honestly, even in the God of War-esque, you had the parts where Atreus was shooting from the sidelines and
Marista!
Right, I guess you could very well get that, but I think the party aspect is probably a better way to go about it. You're right.
I just want to play with. It's called Justice League Dark. I'm expecting to play with the characters. Like I love Constantine. He was a big part of most of the original versions of that team.
Yeah,
they benched him recently, but like he's done a lot of Etrigan has been linked to that a lot too. So there's a lot of characters you can have from it. It's a big world, so
for sure.
A lot of characters. You can pick whatever assortment of characters you want, but there's certain characters I would prefer to see as the main elements of that team, starting with Zatanna and wherever else you want to go. Like they recently put Detective Chimp like in Rebirth, and he's been great. I can't even complain. He's been good. And Ban-Bat was a weird addition, but he's worked out too.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Because he's like half in, half out type of. He's not full man bat. He's like just a head, and it's weird. And he's still smart. It's he's not fully changed. And when he does, it's like he hulks out and becomes the man bat.
So it's like a Dr. Man-Bat situation, Professor Man-Bat.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it's a Professor Man-Bat type of thing.
I just honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I really just like this storyline, and I was like, I want to play this storyline. That was 90% of my.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Sounds really cool. Like I like the idea of being able to play as all the characters, because there's been a few games like recently that you feel like, oh, I wish I could play as all of them, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Interesting, you say that, Trevon.
And God of War Ragnarok, I would love to play as Freya. And Jedi Survivor, I'd love to play as Marin. So
fair.
Certain characters like, oh, they're right there. Just switch me to them, please.
No, that's very fair. Yeah. I get that.
Wow. I mean, was there any other thoughts before I give a pitch that I feel like it's gonna land with you guys? You guys, we all feel the same.
I don't know. I mean, you've been teasing us for like the last 30 minutes with yours. So you might as well go now.
Let me do my short and sweet one right quick. Then you
all right.
Mine's not very long, honestly. I'm just gonna keep the Static Shock agenda going. I really look.
The Static Shock agenda.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it pushing. So anytime we talk about DC, I'm gonna bring him up. So I just need him to be introduced. I need a game. I want an origin. I want like the Big Bang. I want like him having to fight all different people that got powers during that time. Ebon could be the big, the big villain or whatever. The Shadow stuff would be very interesting to see how they handle that.
Enough villains.
Yeah, he does, and we can start off with Hot Streak and all that. That'd be cool.
So my quick question for you is, I don't think they double up. Like they're not going to tell Static's origin in a game and then tell his origin in a movie or a series. Why would a video game be the best option for Static's origin?
Because I feel like that might be the quickest way I get it. Because the way they're playing in my face, I was just like, look, this
video games take forever to develop, though, man.
They did. I mean,
it might be faster than the movie. I mean,
that depends on the scale of the game, I guess. Are you thinking it's like a 60-hour or like a 10-hour, 20-hour?
I need a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I want to surf around Dakota.
I absolutely do.
That's
and I want
a couple years in the making.
And my 2 DLCs. I want Shebang and I want Gear. Like they can come in later, develop his powers at the end of the game. Oh my god, I feel smart. Oh, you do? Come on, get in here. And this Shebang pop up. I would love that. I just want to see those characters again. Like I would love to see them again. I mean, it's a lot they could pull from there. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, where it's in the game, in the movie, and not in the movie. I wish I had the movie. In the show, we got to where he met the Justice League and all that stuff. Like, I mean, eventually that stuff could happen. Maybe that happens in the movie, not in the game, but it's still a possibility. I don't know much about the other characters that they made, but Static Shock is the one that I know about. So I guess you could build out that world or two.
Yeah, Dakota. There's a lot of characters.
Yeah, Icon. It was Icon and
Icon and Rocket and Hardware, and
that'd be cool too.
Those are the characters I'd want to see in the game, and then the Justice League stuff can be for movie stuff.
That's fine. I mean, I'm just saying he can still connect.
I mean, there's enough there.
Yeah, so that's what I want. I just want to see him, please.
It's like Infamous, but you can fly.
That's cool.
Because cool. Just talking about Infamous too. Crazy that came up twice in 2 days.
Infamous is great. Like I was just about to ask, gameplay wise, how we wanted this Static game to like potentially feel. Infamous, I think would be
makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Infamous, but you could fly. You can't fly in Infamous, but like you could glide. I mean, you could almost fly in the second or whatever, but it's not the same. Like surfing around on the whatever.
I mean, what is it? The manhole cover and or the trash can lid, or then eventually had his own little metal thing.
Right. So and then you work for that. You maybe start with like
I was gonna say that's the end game one. That's your end of game costume change.
And in the beginning, you can't just summon that shit. You have to use whoever's nearby to fly around.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I just want Static Shock.
It's doable. I think it's very doable.
I think
your reasoning was great, though. That's hilarious. I think it's gonna be quicker. That's no other reason.
Oh man, Static would be really dope. We've talked about Static before. We talked about him in our Chapter 2 video as well, and all that still applies here. He's a great character, great universe. Video game wise, I think you do really cool power sets with the lightning and all that stuff.
Definitely learn as he goes.
If you use the Big Bang as the origin, the story of this game, that'll really make the progression and the power ups and the leveling up throughout the game make a lot of sense. And again, it'd be a way to introduce him into the DC universe without having to tell his origin in a movie. He can just be superhero Static Shock. Not Virgil trying to figure out his powers for a full movie.
The movie starts with like a recap, like, "Oh, this is what happened."
Let's
do this one more time, right?
My name
is Virgil Hawkins.
Exactly. That'll be fun.
All right,
I like it.
Speaking of teenage superheroes, Jamie, what you got?
All right, so I've decided that my game is going to be a Teen Titans game. I feel like we can kind of be a little bit flexible with it because we had Teen Titans and the what?
What's your roster?
Hold on. Let me build it up.
Let her cook, Joelle.
So we had Teen Titans in like the 2000s, like early 2000s to like mid 2000s, and now we have Teen Titans Go. So they're still very present in the DC universe. So I feel like
all that's on Cartoon Network right now. They're on 24/7.
Yeah.
They own that network. It's ridiculous.
Bring back the original Teen Titans.
We don't really need to like I guess reiterate on some things, because I actually wanted to do an origin story of Teen Titans, because I don't think I've ever seen the origins of Teen Titans. I've only ever seen them just together as a group. And the way that the gameplay works, I know y'all were talking about, like, you know, it'd be great if we could play all these characters, because we didn't really get to do that in Guardians, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. I think this game, as far as gameplay is concerned, should be a cross between Guardians of the Galaxy, because they did do a really great job of telling Peter's story and getting to interact with their teammates. But it should also be a cross with Ultimate Alliance, which is one of my favorite superhero games that I've ever played, where you get to play as like a whole roster of characters. So I want that fusion where you don't play like kind of like the top down, it's more like third person. And you can like switch between these different characters. You can switch between these different characters, so you can kind of craft the story that you want to have. So if you want to learn more about like Robin this whole game, just play as Robin. If you want to learn more about like Beast Boy, just play as Beast Boy. And as far as the cast, I was looking as far as the cast, I went to the DC fandom Wikipedia. I
am
know nothing
hurt
about
that you
this
chose
origins.
Wikipedia and not just me, the biggest Titans fan on earth. But all right,
Listen,
cool.
I can't just tell you what my pitch is.
I was hurt by her main group.
We're unofficial competition. Listen,
do you have a numbered roster? Or is it just
I'm getting to the roster. So the cast. So apparently the original cast was Robin, Aqualad, and Kid Flash. But I'm also including Wonder Girl, Raven, Starfire, and Beast Boy.
I want here with Starfire. There you
go. That is the group that I'm working with. I don't know if that's realistic for game devs at all, but this is pitch time. We're throwing all the dreams in there.
Was that 6 characters? Was that 6 of them?
7. Yeah, 7 characters.
There's 5. The original 5 characters are Robin, Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, Speedy, and Aqualad. Those are the originals. And then the new Teen Titans, they dropped everyone basically. So they kept Kid Flash and Wonder Girl, but they added Cyborg, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy. And that's why those are the most popular.
You know, Cyborg can come in there somewhere because he is best friends with Beast Boy. Maybe he'll be like a DLC character. That's the thing. I'm very disappointed. That feels like there's a lot. See, I went to the Wikipedia and I'm going like solely based off the origin, and like Cyborg came like a little bit later on, so that's the only reason why I didn't have.
You go with the most popular version.
It's the one that I grew up on.
It's the one that I grew up on too.
But I am all in favor of cutting Garth and putting in Cyborg.
No.
Let's go.
No.
We need
Why?
Starfire.
What does Aqualad have to say?
The rest of them.
Let's go.
I like Beast Boy. Beast Boy's my favorite Titan.
No, Garth.
Aqualad.
Beast Boy costs too much. Cut him.
Oh, what the what? What is that? Okay, y'all.
Not in the game.
He costs too much.
No,
in a game.
You saw what happened. You saw what happened in the show. Like,
listen, that's different. That's different.
That's why it's a game.
You have money, okay?
We're
gonna put this thing together.
We need to put the money into Starfire.
We voted. We cutting Aqualad.
Everybody getting the love. Everybody on the roster.
What I would do is focus on the new Teen Titans and use the old school ones as DLC, like Aqualad.
Yeah, we could do that. You know, I just put it because it was like origin story. Let me just go all in on the origin, and then we could be flexible with it.
Robin's on both teams. You can also just play it with like, have I told you about my first team?
Yeah,
boom,
you can do that as well.
Flashbacks, that'd be fun.
Then I pulled some quotes from the fandom as far as like, so the origins is like beginning as a group of sidekicks looking to distinguish themselves from mentors. Absolutely. They would go on to expand into a worldwide establishment. So I like the idea of like the game starting with like Robin or something, and you're like, Batman's like kind of there but not really there like it is in the show. Where you're like, Robin, go take care of that goon or whatever, and then it turns out it's a bigger thing, and it's like, oh man, I need help. Like, who do I turn to? And it's like, boys, let's go. And they all get together. They take down this guy. Like, you know what? We're our own heroes. We don't need to be sidekicks anymore. I don't need to get Batman's coffee. And that's
the first episode of Young Justice.
I'm about to say it's very similar to Young Justice. That's the point. That's the point. Young Justice was
did well with Young Justice.
And you can tell Jamie was trying to pitch. She got quotes and stuff. The rest of us, we were just going off what we had.
Well, I didn't know how much y'all would have, so I just like, I pulled a few things here and there.
I told you she's coming trying to get a job, man.
What is Starfire's power set?
Same as the show. I mean,
What show?
Teen Titans original.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Will it have the right color?
Goodness.
That's a great start. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I gotta know. Apparently, I have to know now. So
I like the idea of it upgrading, like it's starting out as flames, like it was like orange, and then becoming like starlight, like the green bolts or whatever.
That's fine. Just don't need it to be blue.
Maybe that could be like a character like tree kind of thing. You unlock new skills and your powers evolve.
Yeah,
no, she's fine from the beginning. Yeah.
I like.
We'll see. We'll talk with the writers.
Why not?
I don't know if that works. I don't know if it works that way.
Alliance type flying. They flew in Ultimate Alliance, but you just kind of hover.
They do. They're flying.
When they double jump,
I allowed it. It was fine
with it. The one that annoyed me was
it depends on the character. Oh yes, Spider-Man's hovering. If you play Iron Man,
I didn't play with him
for a little bit.
I had
Deadpool and Wolverine were overpowered in those games for me.
They were.
They had a healing factor, so I just never took damage.
Yeah.
No, I had Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch, Storm, somebody else. Forgot. Yeah,
I used to switch up all the time.
I got my girl.
They made it hard in that last one. I used to switch out.
I didn't play that.
The last one was exclusive to the Switch. Yeah,
the Switch.
So I didn't get to play it.
I ain't never finished it.
It's great. It's just it's limited. It's limited, dude.
And then as far as the villain, I went straight origins for this one as well. I have no idea who Lord Chaos is, but apparently Lord Chaos was like one of the first big bads that they fight. And my quote: "When a villain known as Lord Chaos became the supreme monarch of the future, the Titans discovered the only way to stop him was to travel backwards in time and prevent the circumstances which led to his birth." I'm like, that sounds like an epic tale, though.
So they went back in time and went around his neck and did. Okay,
damn.
It's Donna Troy's son, apparently.
He's who?
Donna Troy's son.
Oh.
Dr. K, I don't know.
Interesting. Bro, yeah, she's definitely got to be in it then.
When you click on the thing, the link that you had in the thing.
Which Titans? The original Titans?
Donna Troy? Mm-hmm. Wonder Woman. That's her power.
Yeah.
I'm asking Jamie. Yes, yes, that's what I would like, but.
Oh
yeah, I mean, I didn't fully think out how every character would play.
And which Wonder Woman we talking about? We flying Wonder Woman or grounded Wonder Woman? Because it's how everybody.
Well, no one's not in it. You don't have to worry about
her. But if Donna Troy's in it,
yeah.
I mean,
Donna fly.
I
just say she flies, Jamie, so we can get to
all the other girls fly. So yeah, why not? Girls in the sky.
Good job. Name me one.
Guide is falling.
Wasn't a competition, but all right.
It totally was. That's how I interpreted it. And then to close out with why this game should be a game and not a movie. I feel like movies rarely ever have time to fully develop like a group of characters, and so I feel like this group game, it would definitely take advantage of the time that you can spend with all of these characters. And like I was saying again, like you can craft your own journey. So if you want to learn more about Donna Troy and this son that apparently came out of nowhere, you can talk with her, see what happened with that. You want to know more about like Beast Boy or Aqualad or whoever, then you can definitely do that and spend that time with those characters. And I also, me personally, I like interactive media more anyway than just like sitting and watching something happen. Like I want to go through the adventure myself, and going through, if we choose to get investors, if we choose to go down this Lord Chaos route, that's a hell of a journey for the player to be able to experience going through time and all this kind of stuff. And I think it'll be like much more exciting than possibly being in the theaters, especially considering I don't believe we have a multiversal game right now. So we can be the
When my
first.
game comes to fruition, we will.
Don't tempt.
We gotta beat Didge. Beat Didge to the presses.
Damn, it could both happen.
Hold on.
Yeah, but we'll beat
got a
you to the
witch
presses.
Didge got a witch game. Hold on now.
He does have a witch. Listen, they'll both come out, but I want mine first, so we can be first multiversal.
No, man.
No, why is it multiversal instead of just time travel?
That's also.
I mean,
she trying to change stuff
get
up.
him out of the the movie stuff.
First,
that's what
I mean, I don't know. You can switch up the definition of multiverse.
Mine is a true multiverse.
Don't get too curious. My problem is keep it simple.
But yeah, that's my pitch. I would like all the money. Thank you.
Okay. You can have whatever's left at the status shop.
Yeah. What?
And if it's a competition, my game's technically already in development, but that's it.
You chose a game that was in development.
No,
you hope it's still in development. How about that?
No, they hiring people.
Probably longer than any other ones.
Mine is a spinoff of his game.
We'll see.
Teen Titans would be dope. That's a big roster. I'm not sure how they tackle it. If they go the Marvel Alliance route, that's cool. That works.
Yeah. I'll probably avoid that. But yeah.
Do you get power-ups? Because like when you lock in specific teams in Marvel Alliance, you would get a power boost if you just rocked the Fantastic Four or the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
It's different though, because you're teaming them up and they form specific teams. They're all Titans.
Yeah.
More or less.
My thought was like similar to I think it was similar to Ultimate Alliance. Like, certain people can do like a special move together. So maybe like,
Cyborg
Donna can pick like Cyborg Beast Boy do like a thing. Yeah. I listen, it's because the roster is changeable. I said this at the beginning, Didge. Keep up. It's changeable. We can add him in. But just have that kind of like collaboration.
This roster.
I know everybody talking about the roster.
This is the most chaotic one of
a long
time. I don't get it.
That's why it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah,
I'm here for it.
I am too.
With this one, I wouldn't mind. Funny enough, if it was one character, and like if Robin is the main character of Teen Titans, and he's the Star Lord, he's the one we're following most of the time. I'm cool with that. Be the easiest to develop, but you still need to play as the rest of the Titans.
I like that idea. If it plays sort of like Guardians with Robin as lead, but you don't even need that. That you could play with everyone instead of just leaving them as. I like the idea of being able to like switch off to Starfire or Raven.
Yeah, like my idea is like
Raven.
Guardians,
there you go.
But
Starboy.
You actually get to be everybody. Everyone can be Peter Quill in the scenario.
All right, exactly. Then you can put whoever you want in the front and let them walk in the air. I like that. Like because it's
kind of like what Gotham Knights it could have been, like next level Gotham Knights.
Cool.
Brother Blood needs to be a DLC. Villain or something for this.
There's so many things you could do.
There's a lot of villains you can definitely pull out your ass for this. I mean, they have a ton.
Blackfire.
Yeah,
it was an interesting first villain, but I guess it's
Deathstroke. We gotta do Deathstroke.
That's like everything subject to change.
We need Terra.
I'm proud that you didn't pull Deathstroke as like he's gonna be the main. Like no, we can save him for later.
And plus I feel like Deathstroke. That's a pretty well known like Titans villain, so I kind of want to explore a little more.
Yeah, you definitely pulled one out of your ass. I never heard that.
You did. I had to look him up. By the way, his dad is some random dude. Like it's just literally some random human.
Donna, what's going on?
She married some human and
they got married. Oh, I didn't know. I thought you said some random dude. Like it was just dude off the street. Come here.
No,
is it a Golden Age?
Long. Oh, it's for sure Golden Age.
Yeah, that's some shit right there. Yeah,
Golden Age Donna's just Wonder Woman time. Like she time traveled back in time, right?
Wonder Girl gets a lot of it gets messy, like really, really messy with Donna. We try to avoid Golden Age Donna.
You don't think about it, but you know what? We'll revamp it. We'll make it work. James Gunn.
Exactly.
Simplify it. For sure.
I like that we have two team games that we've pitched, 2 solo games that we pitched. Joel, break the tie. What you got?
All right. Well, this is not easy because you can go in so many different directions when it comes to characters and like where you can go with things. But I made this decision because I feel like it should be a while before we see a movie for this character. There should be definitely a gap. And it's Aquaman. I think there should be an Aquaman movie.
Oh, I almost went that route.
Yeah, I think Aquaman should finally get his own. I mean, he did get a game. I remember it came out for GameCube. Let's try to forget about that one. But there should be a real Aquaman game that comes out. And I think the reason to do it is because you're going to need to take some time away from whatever they're doing now, because they're already taking time from the past to revamp the future. And so there probably should be a while before we see Aquaman again in theaters. So best way to do it is like bring him back, but bring him back in a game form. And you could do something very different with Aquaman. You could actually have an open world ocean game. Like it's in Atlantis. Your field is Atlantis. There's 7 kingdoms in Atlantis. You can visit them all. You know what I mean? There's the trench and there's the main city. There's different levels to it. You see, like if you watch the movie, that's more like this, but it's as big as a continent. Now you don't need to be that big. You probably go to specific spots in Atlantis, but there's so much you could do there, or you could. We've never had open traversal underwater like this. You know what I mean? Like you're not running anywhere, not walking. It's almost like flying, but you're underwater. You know what I mean? Yeah, look at this shit. So don't do that. But you need to
I forgot about
I never heard of this.
I didn't know this existed. He said Aquaman game on GameCube. I'm like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
I forgot about this game.
I was always paying attention to cool shit, and this was like came out of nowhere. But I remember playing. I played very little of this game, but look, it's more or less what I'm thinking about. Except you literally have we've come a long way, guys.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to look like that. Atlantis can be very different.
You can actually see it.
Right, you could see things. There's people. You can have like people living in the city. You can control and like sea life, and you can use that to your advantage. This could be like an origin for him. More or less, you can start it out where Orm is in control of Atlantis, and like that's the threat now. Like he has to. They're coming from. I don't know what the story could be, but you could start out in Mercy Reef, him like living over there on the land, and you could have land missions. You could have stealth missions with Aquaman, like underwater or on land. But mostly, you're mostly going to be in the ocean. The whole point is that you're going to be traversing the ocean. You'll have multiple threats. Orm is a threat. Black Manta is a threat. The Trench are a threat. There's sorcery in this because obviously Mira and Zebul is another kingdom that they have, and there's a school of sorcery there where even Tempest trained under, which was Aqualad. Aqualad becomes Tempest. So you have you can even use, like I said, you could summon other sea creatures to help you, like Topo is the octopus, is like pet octopus that helps out a lot. Or he can ride, instead of swimming around, that's an option. Or you can ride Storm around, which is the seahorse that he rides around on. And use that as another way of travel. Maybe it's even faster or whatever. It's just different because you don't really get to see that. You know, it's like to see the ocean in a different light would be something cool that we've never done before. It'd be ambitious. Don't get me wrong. But I think
the animators would hate this.
Probably. I mean, like it depends on how you do Atlantis. You could do Atlantis underwater. It could be Atlantis in a bubble. I've seen that too. I'm not saying you should or could or whatever, but it's whatever their imagination goes. So whatever they want to do with Atlantis and this go around. There's different levels. So there is a poor side of Atlantis where like there's the shark people, there's the crustacean people. You know, there's a lot of weird creatures down there that you don't really get to see because there's not a lot of Aquaman focus. You know, there's a lot of people you can find. There's a world you can expand upon. You can learn under Volko. So like whatever you're learning, like everything, his introduction to the world is you're training with him and learning how to use your whatever new skills you have and like differentiate Aquaman from the rest of his Atlanteans. Like what makes him special? You know what I mean? And then you can work towards getting the armor and getting the trident and becoming king of Atlantis. But it's a journey. You know what I mean?
Is this an RPG?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. It's like it's more an action adventure, more or less. You know, it's just underwater. It's just not something you
I'm
see.
not gonna lie. You had me when you said I can free roam.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You need the room to
yeah,
swim around.
I was already sold when you said I can just free roam the oceans.
I was sold at Seahorse. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you can ride a seahorse. But like I've seen, like, if you watch some of the trailers for Aquaman, like you can see him in the new Seahorse, the Storm, because you saw him in the last one, but it wasn't this version. It's dope. Like they showed clips from him using Topo, and they're sneaking around and shit. I'm like, that's so cool. Like, it's like there's so many things you can do, like expanding his abilities. Maybe he learns some sorcery, or he can use some water to his ability, like work to his advantage, and like actually have aquakinetic abilities, or he learns from Mira or whatever. And like, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of different directions you can go with it. It's just something that's never been tapped into, and it'd be ambitious because it's never been done. And it's just something new. It'd be very new. Like, how do you do this? Like, it's just in your head. Like, imagine what Atlantis would be like underwater, and you could just basically fly around.
Yeah, and use Aquaman movie because that looks amazing.
You can use Aquaman movie as a big blueprint.
Like that looks amazing. So yeah.
There's a lot you can. There's a lot.
They could do that. They could do it now. I mean, this would be a game that will take advantage of how long it takes to make a game, because we need the break in between this character ends until we see him again.
So the 6 years of development will probably.
That's what I mean. You need.
You gotta make sure the movement feels good, because that's always the complaint with the water levels and stuff. Like, I hated that in Kingdom Hearts 3. I had to go talk to Ariel.
The worst in every game, so like that would be incredibly ambitious to tackle.
Yes,
but I'd love to see it.
Yeah, because you're always running, because no one's built for the water. He is built for the water. You're not going to be slow down there. You know what I mean? So it'd almost be like flying around with whatever, because even that's hard to do. Flying around is not that easy. The same thing. And there's not like there's no ground in the ocean, but that's not where they'll be doing most of the fighting. It'd be a lot of like.
That'd be crazy. You gotta swim all the way down to the bottom of the ocean.
You couldn't even see anymore. The light doesn't travel that far. You just fight in the dark.
That's another thing. They're so deep, it would already be dark. But like, if you watch the Aquaman movie, you see how he sees. Everybody sees differently. When you get to the city, it's all bright because it's all bioluminescent, and they just see differently underwater than normal people wouldn't be able to survive down there. We couldn't see it like that anyway, so you can't tell me it doesn't work that way. Like, you can't see that. But yeah, I mean, I would like the idea of even summoning different type of fish around you. Like, I even have whale saving missions. You can go there and save a whale, because I know that's definitely something he's done in the past. Go up to the surface.
The trench would be crazy, like you were saying.
Fighting up the trench, bro.
That would be insane, because you can have so many different elements. That's a horror element in this game.
Oh yeah,
sure. Oh yeah, the jump scares
that
can
being
hit you with the trench.
Oh my god, and it gets darker and darker. Like,
right.
There are areas like unnaturally dark. Like, what the fuck?
Hey.
Yeah, it'd be fun. There's a lot there to mine. It's just a matter of coming up with a good story and obviously the fighting mechanics and stuff like that. That's tough.
I think it would be like a good I guess like base for this game, even though it's a horror game. Or something like Subnautica as well, where like those are underwater. Like, a lot of people really like Subnautica. Soma's a horror game that I played recently. It's not a recent game, though. It came out quite a while ago. But it's kind of like you go from being underwater into like these different facilities, and that's where like different things happen. So you could also do something like that. But there's definitely a baseline for like making a good water game or underwater game.
Right. Yeah. I think it's doable. Like, not everything has to be in the water. Like you said, there are like areas where like it's a cave or there's a building that's not. You have to go in it, and you could like show off his ability to run and his strength and stuff like that, and actually his trident and all that extra stuff that you don't really get to do. And you can't use your fish powers technically there, right? You would have to use more physical stuff. And maybe you're aquatic. If you learn like sorcery or whatever, you can do that too. There's a lot. Get cute with it, because they do that all the time in these games.
You could do kind of like a Tears of the Kingdom, split the map in half. So like maybe you're on land for some of it, and that's not like the origin story.
I was thinking about that too. There's the ocean floor, then there's like maybe there's an island above you can go to and fight there or whatever.
The depths, oh god, no, that's where the trench would be.
Yeah, that would be the farthest down. The trench are at the bottom. They're like, why are we going down there? There's the trench queen. There's bosses you can throw out there. there, you know. So
this sounds great. It would be a lot of fun for them to do this.
It'd be different.
Yeah. It would be very different.
You guys ever play a game called Critical Depth? It's old. It's PS1 old. So it's like Twisted Metal underwater.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you still drive cars, or is it like a boat or something?
It's, submarines.
Interesting.
You have different types of submarines. It's like I said, it's like Twisted Metal. So they're all custom made, some like mini subs, and they fight each other.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, they shoot bullets.
I have one request for this Aquaman game. I need at least one mission where I get to play as Mira, and I've got water magic.
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, that could be a character that maybe you unlock or something, or DLC or whatever.
Yeah,
have mirror missions, and she can basically do the same shit, but she's more sorcery based, you know, aquakinetic based.
That'd be really fun. It'd be challenging getting the water physics right, but I think, especially with the Jason Momoa movies, him and James Wan, right? Those are fun popcorn action movies that kind of like the action set pieces feel like they take place right in the video game anyway. Like if they adapt that style for the game, I think that actually works really well. And like you were saying, the amount of time it would take to develop something this complex, we'd be ready to see Aquaman again because Jason Momoa would have been Lobo for like 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a good chance to like give him time to breathe. We like this movie's literally hasn't come out yet, so we need time. We need time to like live without this version of Aquaman, and this is another way to introduce a new Aquaman.
Yeah,
without marrying yourself to the old one, and like introducing you to his world early and making him the king before you even see him. And like when you see him, he is already King Arthur, technically.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, but yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it would be difficult. I think it would be difficult, but it'd be fun. It'd be something.
WB team up with Amazon to make the game.
Do it. Somebody
get their money. You're gonna need it for this. You're gonna need it for this.
Why them?
The budget.
I got it.
Yeah.
The budget.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen some crazy shit out there. I mean, they can do God of War. That takes a lot of money to do what they do in God of War. Even Final Fantasy
exclusive. Let's go.
Yo, look at Final Fantasy 16. Some of the shit in that game was, that shit wasn't cheap. Some of the battles.
Absolutely.
Icon battles, like I've never fought as an icon before. That's just dope.
That was amazing.
So it's we can do a lot of crazy shit now these days.
I appreciate that all of our pitches were basically like, hey, except for Trevon, but he wants to see static. I respect it. All of our pitches are pretty much like, hey, this is where you can do the things that a movie can't tackle necessarily. We can develop X amount of characters. We can have these giant set pieces. We can attempt to tell stories that the movies just won't have time for, but you have 30 hours with the character instead of 2. Or in Didge's case, 90 minutes. So
I said an hour 45 to 2:15. No, you get.
What did you say? 2:15?
Oh, that's only been my thing. It's hour 45 to 2:15.
It's 2:15 for the movies like Oppenheimer. That's what he's fine with that.
I feel like it's cap. All right,
yeah, I think that's cap as well.
I've been
15.
Keep going back and look. It's always been the sweet spot. It's been an hour 45.
I feel like the Marvels could have just been 2:15. Then I don't know why you were fighting for that one.
I just said it was perfect at 1:45.
It was good.
Regardless, I'm glad we're if James Gunn and the DC crew are as smart as we hope that they are, this is how they should be using video games in their universe. Use it to 2 of these games that we pitched are just so we don't retread the same ground of like making a Wonder Woman origin or an Aquaman origin. And the other 2 games that were pitched were just like, hey, this would be a cool way to introduce this team and X amount of characters and to give them time to grow and develop. And Static is just dope. And put him in all the things. Give him a movie, give him a game, give him a show. I don't care. Just get Static out there. So I feel like
it's like he's set up.
Stop teasing me.
It's true though. Like I could definitely see Static be a Spider-Man-esque video game. Like it's self-made, right?
He and Miles, probably on purpose, share very many similarities. So if like Miles can get a game, so can Static.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Guys, that was our 5 DC video game pitches, James Gunn, I know you watch this show. You watch our fan cast, apparently. We already know this.
Right.
Feel free to take these ideas, but remember, you owe Jamie money if you take Titans. She made that abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Please,
if you can figure out what you wanted.
Just let me play. If you do stat shot games, let me play it early, okay? Just I don't need you to pay me. I don't need you to pay me. Just let me play it early, okay?
No, do that sponsored post. Like, I just played Static and it was insane.
Gotta love it.
Insane on our screen.